When selecting a hoop for a project, you're going to consider a few different things. You're going to consider one, first of all, the size. Will my design fit within the hoop, and will the hoop fit within my product? So if I'm dealing with infant wear or a pocket on something, can I get the hoop into the product, and then will the design fit within the hoop? You'll also want to think about the shape. So there are different shapes. You've got circular, you've got rectangular, you've got square, you've got all these different shapes. What's going to work best? Typically, I'm going to choose a round hoop if I can, just because the tension is even all the way around it, and that just makes my life a little bit easier. Now, if you have a square design, you could do something that is a square, and you get a little more sew field for the shape. And what I mean by that is these are roughly the same size of hoop, right? But if I look at the square, I actually get to utilize these corners, where with the circular one, I do not. So there's times where a square shape will help you out a little bit. Again, circular is nice because it's even tension all the way around, whereas with rectangular hoops and square hoops, the tension tends to be focused a little bit more in these corners, and it's a little bit tighter here. You can have a little bit of slippage in the Y and in the X just because of how it holds on these sides. Typically, I'll go into my software and I will have my design loaded, and then I will begin selecting hoops to see which one's going to fit as closely as possible to that sew field without going over that sew field. And the reason that I do that is the larger hoops, the more hoop area you have, the more fabric you have to move, the more play you have. The tighter I am, the better registration and the better sew quality I can get. So I'm gonna fit as closely as I can for those reasons. But that's what I go through when choosing a hoop. Now, as far as styles of hoop, you do have traditional hoops. These work with tensioning, and you put one hoop inside the other, and that's what's going to hold the fabric. Other hoops that kind of fall along those lines are magnetic hoops. These don't deal with tension, but they do actually grab on really, really tightly, and they do that with magnets, so watch your fingers. There are other kind of different alternatives out there. There are clamping systems. There are systems where you use adhesive to lay stuff on there. But for the most part, I'm going to stick to either just a traditional hoop or a magnetic hoop like this one.